Welcome to Coming Home, Survive and Thrive in Homeschooling. I'm Christine, and this week we are talking about contentment. When is enough enough? This week I was talking with a young woman who spends a lot of time lifting weights, doing CrossFit and other intense physical exercises. She had injured herself and was coming to the clinic for treatment. We started talking about pushing our bodies too far, how to tell and when to stop. She told me of a young friend constantly bettering his physical goals, but also constantly in pain. We're all familiar with the motivating urge of no pain, no gain, and many believe it, making it the goal of exercise and a sign of success. Apart from the biological need for pain sending us important signals to take notice of, our body is also telling us when to stop before avoidable consequences become evident. I don't understand the notion of no pain, no gain, but it is deep in our culture to the point of it being accepted as truth. In the clinic I work in, most of our health insurance claims are fitness related, and most of those are in a gym. Either the trainers or supervisors are negligent or ill-trained, or the exerciser is willfully pushing him or herself beyond where their body is supposed to go. Some are genuine accidents, but most are not. Why does the gym member do this? I could ask it another way. Why do you dislike yourself so much you want to hurt yourself? Is it punishment for eating a pie or a donut? A need to be seen by others as committed? Or a belief you're not good enough and need to look better, go further, lift more? And when you do, you'll be satisfied. But you're not, because we push on. It wasn't enough. It's never enough. To be clear, I'm not endorsing laziness or being unfit. We all know taking care of our health is important. But when is enough enough? Remember in Back to the Future Part 3, Marty is asked about his fancy shoes by 19th century men in the saloon. He says they're runners, and the men are puzzled. Marty explains about going for a run. The men clarify Marty is running for fun and not for a purpose. They move from being puzzled to laughing out loud. They'd never heard of anything more ridiculous. Who runs for fun? Life made our forebears fit. Fitness as we know it is a modern phenomenon. Our modern conveniences made us unhealthier because we didn't have to work hard for everyday life. Grandma scrubbed her floors and beat her carpets. If she was lucky, she had a carpet sweeper. She grew most of her food, caught a bus to the shops, and walked up a steep hill home with heavy shopping bags, and she had 6 children to shop for. Laundry, ironing, and making clothing were also work requiring physical effort. So was cooking, making jams and preserves. Most of her day was physical exercise, although many women were overworked. She also would have been puzzled by the modern woman joining a gym or running. Grandpa lived similarly, but when the job was done, it was enough. The fitness efforts we have today do not have a natural finish, and it's never enough. Where does this attitude come from, and what does it have to do with homeschooling? Second question first. It's easy to see someone unnecessarily pushing herself beyond what she needs or should when that person isn't you. If you're regularly thinking or worrying about if the children have done enough sums or read enough of their book, or feeling guilty if you didn't get done today what you'd planned, this is your version. When is enough enough? Do you feel even a little motivation to prove to your sister-in-law, who is a teacher, that you're doing a good job? Or your parents, who may be skeptical of your homeschooling? I can put my hand up to these, and to be super transparent, I still feel it. Fancy that, looking for validation, even though it's been 26 years since we started homeschooling and 6 years since we finished. Despite all our children growing up to be responsible adults who know how to think, I'm still aware of the pride or reassurance of validation. Even when I get it, and I regularly do, the need doesn't go away. Understanding the difference between guilt and integrity, proof and contentment, relief and peace is an ongoing and important goal to strive for. I accept these feelings will never completely go away because it is human to worry, fall short and feel guilty. But it's also human to improve. Dr. Jordan Peterson calls it becoming a better you, bit by bit. By this time next year, you need to be better at being you. Christianity calls it becoming more Christ-like. Neither is motivated by guilt or punishment, but by being content and at peace with what you are now, knowing you're doing your best, and in faith, knowing you'll be better soon. Both the earlier guilt version and the latter version take hard work and perseverance, but only one brings contentment and peace, with the knowledge of enough. Being well planned helps with the uncertainty of when it is enough. So does accepting when a day doesn't go to plan. It definitely helps to understand it is more important to oversee your child's character than ensure he knows his times tables perfectly or can recite your country's towns and cities flawlessly. This is all throughout our lives. There is always the drive for more, better, bigger. When is the amount you earn enough? Do you really need a bigger house in a better neighborhood? Or is it born of the urge to be seen to be successful? Only we can know our hearts, and sometimes not even that. We can't always tell our motivation from integrity or our cultural expectations. It's part of being human to be driven. Laziness is a learned flaw, even though it's a human one. Watch a baby or young child and how she is driven to learn. You don't have to teach her to walk. She will do it. She will fall over and over, but she will learn it and then go on to the next development marker. We are supposed to get better and develop and become more skilled. What is intended for good can quickly become bad or not the best thing for us. It takes discipline, patience, and honesty with ourselves about our reasons for the decisions we make. If we continue to aim for contentment, we will find our peace in our day. I really do think we will tussle with this throughout our lives, but we do get better at it the more we do it. Like the exercise done to keep ourselves fit and enough for that purpose, and not the unending drive for more. Back to the question of where this guilt-driven pressure to perform or punish ourselves comes from. There could be a common human thread of needing to appease gods of some sort, including the god of self. But since our Western culture is Christian-based, I'll go with that. The bettering of ourselves or becoming more Christ-like is a good goal. But when a culture loses, lessens, or misunderstands its faith origins, the motivations and outcomes can become skewed. Some point to the Calvinistic work ethic and the devil providing work for idle hands. I'm not a theologian, but I know it's permeated throughout our Western culture, and we need to understand how to navigate it. No choice, really. It's part of what made our civilization the most peaceful and prosperous, so it can be done well. It's also becoming clear that we're losing what made us successful. But that's taking me too far from what I wanted to say today. I end by encouraging you to examine your motives, heart, and decisions, trying to see if you're doing what you do to pursue contentment and peace, or regularly realizing it's something else. Sometimes it's one, sometimes it's the other. We need to become less of one and more of the other. Life audits are good for us. We're all familiar with the saying, pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep on going. Don't be too hard on yourself. Be content that you're doing the best you can and not worry about what you can't do just now. There's plenty of time for that. My prayer for you, dear listener, is may you know more peace and contentment in your wonderful homeschooling adventure. You know there are others who need to listen to this. Please share it around. If you need to make an appointment for homeschool coaching or see my resources, go to my website, cominghomeinfo.com. That's all from me this week. Have a good week and I'll see you next time.